Welcome to the Pistons Fanatic. I'm your host, Dave Dalton, and I'm excited to share my passion and perspective of our Detroit Pistons as we go on this fantastic voyage together. I've been a diehard Pistons fan since the days of Dave Bing and Bob Lanier. I've also been the varsity basketball coach of a very successful program in northern Michigan. I want to thank you all for listening. I want to thank you all for subscribing, over 2,000 subscribers. Our Pistons fell flat tonight, so the first bad game of the year, we're 1-5, but the other 4-5 games, we were very competitive. We just come off a big victory over Philadelphia. In the first quarter, we were not even awake. We fell behind 39-13 in the first quarter with 7 turnovers, just lackadaisical passes. And the Knicks are great on defense. They challenge every pass. They're up in the passing lane. They got really good defenders. And our concentration wasn't there. And you had to be more alert than you are against some other teams. And it just parlayed. Cade got off to a bad start, 1 for 5. He rebounded and came back really strong the rest of the game. But it was very disappointing. It was my birthday today. I was excited to watch a game, and unfortunately the game was over after the first quarter. So we hung in there. We outscored them 33-30 in the second quarter, which is weird. I mean, you're playing the same two teams, and they tried. They said there's good players still out there, but it's just funny how basketball is, how you can get annihilated by one team and the same team in the same gym next quarter, and they can outscore you. So, big thing that happened tonight, interesting that JB alluded to it in the post-game press conference. Ivey hardly played. Ivey played 18 minutes. So he took him out in the first quarter early, which he always does, about 6 minutes in, so he can stagger him and Cade. And he never put him back in. And I thought, is he hurt? Did he talk back to the coach? I didn't notice any major, thing wrong. I didn't see him. He didn't turn the ball over a bunch. So it's just, JB in the press conference said that he just wanted to try something else, to make something else work and get another lineup out there that might make things happen. And so it's interesting. I just wish we're not going to mess with Ivey's psyche after what he endured last year. So that's my only concern. But I think that JB, he's talked about how he's been in lots of conversations from training camp on, that he communicates with his players continually. And so hopefully that allows him to get past this, because, Ivey plays 18 minutes, Cade plays 32 minutes. And anyway, he benched Duren, and it was obvious. I mean, and I, all for accountability. Duren, Collins caught the ball. Duren was supposed to be guarding. Duren was not even in the same area code. Collins was wide open, hit a wide open 3, and he immediately sent Stu to the scores table. It was right away, right at the very start of the second half. So I like that. And then he played Duren later on in the game. He put him back in. He played him plenty, but let people know that there's some reason that you got to play. Again, Cade started out 1 for 5. He finished 9 for 14 the rest of the game and had 6 assists and 1 turnover only. We had 22 turnovers, and again, our turnovers turned into layups. They had 16 steals. So a lot of times you turn the ball over, you don't give up that many steals, but they just picked up, and those lead to easy shots, easy scores, and that's exactly what happened tonight. And besides that, the Knicks shot really well from 3. They made 18 threes, shot 47%. So that was a killer. So we had 22 turnovers, they had 9 turnovers. They made 18 threes. We made 11 threes. We both teams shot 51% overall. So and you get beat by 30. So that's kind of weird. The final score was 128-98, and it was very disappointing. It would have been fun. We were playing at home to really compete. One positive for the game was Fontecchio, which he's not been off to a good start, and his minutes have been real sporadic, but he was 5 for 7 and 2 for 4 on threes. So has anybody else besides me ever thought that Fontecchio looks like Adam Sandler a little bit? It was pretty cool. One time he was checking into the game, and Holland was checking into the game, and Holland's walking out on the court, and Fontecchio had to tell him he had this white pullover shirt on him, like a little warm-up shirt, and Fontecchio had to tell him to take that off before he got on the court. But We got the Nets coming up. So the Nets, who everybody thought was the worst team in the NBA, which they still could be, they're tanking. I mean, they traded off players and got a bunch of draft picks back, including their own. They traded away their draft picks, I think, probably to get Harden, and then they got their draft picks back so that they wouldn't have to, so they could tank this year. So they're 2-3. They were heading into tonight, and last I knew, they were really close with the Bulls. It was like a 2 or 4 point game in the fourth quarter. The Bulls were up by a little bit, but they're playing well. And Schroeder, Cam Thomas is a bucket man. That dude, people make fun of him, but he can score. He can just score. He doesn't even always shoot a great percentage. He likes to jack it up, but him and Schroeder, Dennis Schroeder, have been both scoring. Schroeder's a weird player. He's played great at times for a lot of different teams. When he plays international ball, he won MVP of some international tournament a while back. But he's talented, but he's been scoring over 20 games, those two. So we got to try to guard those two guys next game. We couldn't stop Brunson. Brunson had 36. I don't know how many minutes he played, but he had 36 at real efficient minutes. I thought when Cade guarded him, Cade blocked him once. I thought that he did a good job when he was on him. But yeah, it was a disappointing game after coming off a win. And again, like I said, it's going to be big. There's a lot of pressure on us to beat teams that we think that we should beat, like the Nets. So we'll see how we respond. But Hardaway, he's been smoking hot, but tonight he only played 25 minutes because Monty played the bench at the end of the game because it was a blowout. But he was 3 for 9, 2 for 7 on threes. Again, he only played 25 minutes, so it's not as bad. But he had 1 rebound, so he doesn't do a lot. He's not making shots. He doesn't contribute a lot. He's not a good defender. He doesn't get loose balls. He doesn't get rebounds. And he's not usually a very good passer. So Tobias, 26 minutes. Tobias was shooting good. He finished the Sixers game good. Tonight he was 26 minutes, 5 for 7, 1 for 2 on threes, and 2 for 2 from the line, 8 rebounds. So 8 rebounds is excellent for 26 minutes. 3 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks. He's been getting some blocks, 13 points, but here he had 3 turnovers. So that was a killer. Duren had another mediocre game. I think he played 17 minutes. Again, he got benched once because he wasn't guarding Towns, but he was 2 for 2 and 1 for 2 on free throws only. His free throws have been way off this year compared to what they were last year. 7 rebounds, not bad for 17 minutes, but 2 assists, 1 block, but 3 turnovers. 3 turnovers in that short of time. That's hard to imagine that, you should play less than 20 minutes and you turn the ball over 3 times. So Ivey, again, only 18 minutes, and he shot well. He was 4 for 9 and 2 for 4 on threes. He had 5 rebounds in only 18 minutes and 2 assists, but he did have 4 turnovers, so that was terrible. And he ended up with 10 points. But he just, my feeling is, unless he does something the coach told him not to do more than once, and if he thought he wasn't playing hard, I did see in the second half, he was really frustrated with the officials. I'm sure he was frustrated overall with the game, so he was really chirping at the officials a lot, and I think he was mentally taken out of the game. But he still shot really well. But Cade, 32 minutes, 10 for 19, 2 for 4 on threes, no free throws. We shot 7 free throws the whole night, and I don't know. The Knicks are a pretty physical, aggressive team, but we shot 7 free throws. We were 5 for 7. So who knows why that is. But Beasley, another just subpar game. 25 minutes, 3 for 9, 2 for 6 on threes. 0 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 turnovers. These guys, Beasley, 20, there's a big difference. Cade has turned the ball over way too much. He had 9, 7, and 5 turnovers this year in games, and that is not going to get it done. But he does have the ball in his hands all the time. But when you got Tobias, Duren, Ivey has the ball more than most of them, and then Beasley, they all had 3 turnovers, and Ivey had 4, and those other 3 guys, they don't hardly handle the ball. So that really hurts you when you got guys that don't touch it very much, turning it over at that high of a clip. So Stu played only 16 minutes, but he was 1 for 3, 0 for 2 on free throws. Oh no, 0 for 2 on threes. So he shot more threes than he's ever shot in the game. But he only had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and he had 1 steal, 2 blocks. Holland, 22 minutes, 3 for 5. Holland in the last 4 games is shooting over 50% from the floor. So he's not shooting that much. He's not playing that much, I think. Again, he played 22 minutes tonight in a blowout, I think. I like the way that JB's handling him and giving him experience. But Holland had 3 turnovers. So there you go again. 22 minutes and 3 turnovers. So that was really bad. I didn't circle that one. But yeah, between Tobias and Duren and Beasley and Holland, 12 turnovers in very little minutes. And Sasser got to play 19 minutes, or he might have ended up getting to play more. I kind of quit keeping track, but he had 2 for 5 and 0 for 1 on threes. B-Ball Paul came in. Finally, he got to play all year. He was 2 for 5 and 1 for 1 on free throws, 2 rebounds, and 2 blocks. He blocked Karl Anthony Towns twice. He blocked him on a 3-point shot, and he blocked him down near the basket once. So that Paul Reed can block shots. We don't have a shot blocker, but he can block them. So, like I said, Brunson had 36 points, and he led the way, and he's one of the best players in the league. And so it was tough game, but we got to bounce back. Got the the Nets on Sunday, 3:00 game. So that's good. I like that when I get to get my podcast done before midnight by the time I upload it. But anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting the podcast. And I really enjoyed it. I was on Jack Kelly's after game podcast for a minute, and I'm just so proud of all my listeners and that they've stuck with me. And I hope you have a good night. Be the reason that somebody feels cared for, and go Pistons.